Hello, y'all on YouTube on this other account. All right. So I'm not gonna touch on that other thing, that other person that I said in this other video, because it's really not worth mentioning that little brief experience. You know, that's really just a waste of breath. But I will mention. I'm not even gonna mention these materialistic women out here because that's not worth mentioning. I won't mention it in detail. Actually, that's why I'll rephrase that because I just mentioned it. I won't go into detail about that because that's irrelevant. You know, what I'm gonna touch on in this video is two topics. This brief topic: God, the sun, oxygen, water, food, then my family. The list of things I love. And seven is everyone else. Seven is everyone else, including animals. But five, first five aspects. I gotta love God first because God created everything. The sun, because without the sun, don't matter if you have oxygen, water, food, you won't survive. Oxygen, water, and food. I have to love these five things before my family because without these five things, I would not be here talking to you today. Of course, I love my soul and whatever. We're not going to go into that. That's got its own place. That's equivalent to having love for God. But, so what I also want to touch on this video, coronavirus is a man-made virus. It is a propaganda tool. All right? Let me tell you how it's man-made, how it's also propaganda tool. 1720, you had the Black Plague, bubonic plague, right? Around England, London, Europe, basically. Took 100 million lives. 100 years later, 1820, you had cholera. Cholera took around 100 million lives, is what they say by estimates. We don't know exact, but that's what they claim by numbers. 1920, again, 100 years later, you had the Spanish flu, took around 500 million people, equivalent. Now you got 2020 coronavirus. Is it a coincidence that every 100 years since 1720 we had these viruses taking a bunch of people, or is it pre-planned? I'm gonna say it's pre-planned. My evidence that coronavirus is man-made. I have many evidences. I'm gonna go first with this doctor from China. This doctor from China was telling people on WeChat, which is like a WhatsApp social media app. He was telling people about some disease that's coming that's similar to SARS. Basically to prepare yourself. And I guess, if I am saying this right, I believe he was also aware about the source where it started and was trying to get people to know about it. Anyways, the police came. They told him stop spreading misinformation, disturbing the order. So they silenced him. A couple days later, the virus spreads out. After this doctor mentioned that there's something coming, similar to SARS, it's coming. So, police silenced him. Hospital. After that virus came out a couple days later, find a coincidence, huh? He got sick. That same doctor trying to spread the info. And his whole family. Is that just coincidence? Or is that a result from him trying to spread that? How many people, we know what Chinese government is. Chinese government is communism, right? That's what the type of government they call communist, like similar to North Korea. Chinese government, you cannot speak out against the Chinese government. There's a lot of things you can't do similar to communism. And, so this man was silenced because they were trying to bring it out He was trying to stop what they had going on. Now, other form of evidence. This doctor or nurse scientist, I think is a doctor, she worked with that virus. She worked around the virus. I guess she was doing research around the virus, whatever. And she said that the Chinese government is lying about how many people has the disease infected. They say it's around 20,000. She said in reality it's around 90,000. I believe with what she said. I believe that's not a lie. Why? First of all, about this Chinese doctor, this man who was trying to spread the knowledge before the virus came out. You can watch this video on CNN. That's a global news. Hey, that's a credited source, right? That's a popular news network. They said it themselves. So they're putting it out there on the popular networks. You don't have to go to the deep web for this. You don't have to scour different websites, conspiracy theories. It was on their main news channel, how they silenced this doctor. Because he was spreading rumors and disturbing order. Okay? So, now with this doctor, they also have a video about her. She's saying it's around 90,000. They said the video first surfaced to a Asian version of YouTube, but now you could see the video on YouTube. She's not saying everything she said, so it's been doctored and edited. You're entitled to your own opinions and beliefs. You can believe that that's an authentic video that's not been doctored and edited, but I'm going to tell you, if she's lying that there's no 90,000 people infected in China with coronavirus, and if this is just some hoax, then why are all these cities being abandoned? You can look that up on YouTube, and they have credited news outlets that are broadcasting how there is pretty much a ghost town in Wuhan. There's a couple of people outside in Wuhan where it had, I guess what I heard was that was the most populated city in China. Wuhan, actually. Okay? Now you see the streets, it's a couple people walking. Beijing, turning into a ghost town. This other place, this other place. You have so many cities in China that's turned into almost a ghost town. Where are those people? Where are those people, man? They had videos that surfaced on Twitter that gets taken down by the Chinese government. That these people are being quarantined and they're so afraid. If you're just getting a vaccine to help you, why are you going to be afraid? They're afraid for their life because you know why? They're being hidden. They're being hidden away, man. These people in China, when the disease was first starting its popularity, 35 million people quarantined. That's on a news network. We don't know the exact numbers, but they're saying around 35 million people quarantined in China. So, what does that mean? 35 million people got the virus? No. These 35 million people were quarantined. I guess those people are going to get the virus, or half is going to get the virus. We don't know the true details. But why are you going to quarantine 35 million people? 35 million. Or maybe more, maybe less. We don't know. That's the numbers they're saying. This is some crazy stuff, man. And people are still in panic mode. You have to realize SARS, MERS, what happened to those viruses? They went away. They said we still haven't found a vaccine for them. Then why are people not dying from SARS and MERS right now to this day? That's what the guy from WHO, the director for World Health Organization, said. We still don't have vaccines for MERS and all that. Then how come it's still not around? How come you don't hear cases about MERS and SARS and swine flu? That's because it's gone. It's gone. Either you made the vaccine or you eliminated the virus. But it was just all trials, human trials, tests. You know what I'm saying? Experimentation. You can't believe anything the government does, says, because they're reading from a piece of paper. Every time you see an interview, World Health Organization, UN, Bosnia politics, wherever, they're reading from a piece of paper. That's not their real words. That's not their real thoughts. They get printed that paper to read to the people, you know? And who's printing them that paper? So who's the one above them who's giving them this stuff to say? You can't even really blame them. You can kind of blame them, but yeah, they want the money, they want easy money and whatever. But you gotta blame the source, and the source is the people giving them that paper to read from. Also, the source is not the government who gives us the money, but the people who print, not even the people who print the money, the people who tell them to print the money, which is these 13 families. There might be 12, there might be 14. That's what they say, 13. Anyway, these families who don't work for paper, they don't use paper money, they don't use credit cards, they don't use any of those type of currencies. They use gold, solid gold, they use gems, they use diamonds, you know what I'm saying? They use oil, you know what I'm saying? So, you gotta wake up, man. Yeah, wake up for me, man. This coronavirus is man-made. How many lives it's gonna take, we don't know. How many they want it to, it's all on them. It's all on how many lives they want to claim. And then they'll find a cure after a certain amount of people die. You know? They're not, oh, we don't know where it came from. We don't know the source and all that. Come on, man. Is it just a coincidence in the city of Wuhan? Two places who's researching bio weapons. We got 2 research facilities for bioweapons, viruses, in Wuhan, where the disease coincidentally, as they say, started. No, one of those labs, maybe both of them, created that virus. You know, that's why you think they're clearing these people, man. They're clearing these people because they're gonna come back. They're gonna release these people to the streets. The people that's infected, the people that's been snatched up. You know what I'm saying? The people that's been snatched up, they're gonna be released back into those cities. It's gonna be similar to Resident Evil, some zombie type stuff. Why do you think they make these movies about zombies? You think that's fake? About an infection comes out, you know, infection, all these people infected, they coming out there, they're you know, they're trying to eat flesh or whatever, man. They already made synthetic marijuana, and one of the side effects causes people to eat human flesh. You could have the severe cases, somebody get caught, they eating somebody. So if they can come up with that in a herb, you know, quoted herb with chemicals, you don't think they could come up with a virus that could make people want to start turning to cannibals? Cannibalism? No. That's why all those people been basically, they're not been quarantined, they've been detained. They've been set off somewhere, 35 million estimate in China, so they can get the disease and then release them back on the streets. I don't believe anything the government tells me. I don't believe in any government. I don't believe in the Bosnian government, Croatian government, the Serbian government, the US government, Chinese government. They're all in it together. All of them are good with each other. Don't think that one country has something against another country. That's what you think because of a soldier putting on a uniform. But what is he fighting for? What's he fighting for? He's fighting for that person above the government to get them resources out that country. He ain't fighting because that's your enemy. That's what they tell you, that's your enemy. Your enemy is the one sending you out there on the front lines. Your enemy is the one sending you out there on the front lines. And it goes deeper than your government. Your enemy is the one above your government, because your government, every government is brainwashed themselves. They reading off a paper. They reading off a paper. Every politician, everywhere. Every government is reading off a paper. You gonna believe them what they tell you, or you gonna do your own research? Wake up, man. I'm done with this video.